What if I told you that some of R&B's most beloved icons were hiding the ugliest truths behind the mic? Behind the glitz, fame, and silky vocals were rumors so wild, so scandalous, that fans refused to believe them until they turned out to be true. From secret affairs and shocking betrayals to bizarre habits and disturbing confessions, these stories peeled back the polished image of R&B's biggest stars. Here are 10 disgusting R&B rumors that turned out to be completely real. 10. Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat was once one of R&B's smoothest voices, a man whose songs defined romance for an entire generation. With timeless hits like Twisted and Nobody, he became a symbol of class, style, and success. But while the world saw an image of wealth and confidence, whispers behind the scenes told a much darker story. People in the industry started talking about unpaid bills, failed investments, and missing money. At first, fans brushed it off. How could a man with platinum records and sold-out tours be struggling financially? But as time went on, the rumors started proving true. Court records revealed massive debts. Cars were repossessed, houses were lost, and lawsuits piled up. The once celebrated R&B star eventually filed for bankruptcy, admitting that years of bad financial decisions had caught up with him. It was a shocking fall for someone who once represented R&B perfection. His situation showed how fame doesn't always equal fortune. The man who made others feel love and luxury through his music was silently drowning in money troubles. The world finally saw that the glamorous lifestyle wasn't real. It was a mask hiding the painful truth. Keith Sweat went from chart-topping success to financial collapse, proving that even the smoothest stars can lose everything when the spotlight fades. 9. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige didn't just sing about pain, she lived through it. From the beginning of her career, her powerful voice carried more than melody. It carried the weight of a woman fighting to survive. Behind her confident image, there were rumors of addiction, heartbreak, and emotional breakdowns. The public loved her music, but few knew how deeply her real life inspired every lyric she wrote. As time passed, those rumors started to match the truth. Mary openly spoke about her struggles with drugs and alcohol, admitting that fame couldn't heal the scars from her past. She endured abusive relationships, mental battles, and the pressures of fame that almost destroyed her career. Every performance was therapy, every song a confession of what she'd survived. When fans listened to tracks like Be Without You or No More Drama, they weren't just hearing music, they were hearing Mary's reality. The rumors about her struggles were real, but instead of letting them define her, she used them to rise stronger. Her journey became proof that even in the darkest times, pain can be turned into power. The queen of hip-hop soul turned her suffering into strength, and her truth became the reason millions connected with her music so deeply. 8. Ray J. Before Ray J became a reality TV personality or businessman, he was already infamous for one thing, a scandal that changed pop culture forever. In the early 2000s, rumors began to swirl about a private tape involving Ray J and his then-girlfriend, Kim Kardashian. At first, people thought it was just another celebrity rumor meant to grab attention. But when the footage surfaced, it shocked the entire entertainment world. The tape instantly went viral, making both names household sensations overnight. Ray J's image took a wild turn, from being known for his smooth R&B voice to being the man behind one of the most talked-about celebrity scandals ever. Years later, when more details came out, it was confirmed that Ray J knew about the tape's release and benefited financially from it. What started as a rumor became an undeniable truth. The fallout followed him for years, overshadowing his music career. But strangely, the controversy also boosted his fame. The tape's release not only changed Ray J's reputation, but also played a huge role in launching the Kardashian empire. The rumor that once seemed too wild to believe became one of the most defining and disgusting truths in R&B's messy history. 7. The Weeknd. The Weeknd's haunting music always hinted at pain, darkness, and addiction, but few fans realized how real those lyrics were. When he first emerged, his songs about late nights, numb emotions, and self-destruction seemed like storytelling. Yet behind the fame, rumors of heavy drug use, sleepless binges, and emotional isolation started circulating. People said he was living the same dangerous lifestyle he sang about, and they weren't wrong. As The Weeknd's fame exploded, so did his inner chaos. He later admitted to relying on drugs to escape the pressures of fame and loneliness. Studio sessions were fueled by substances, and his blurred nights became part of his art. The man behind Can't Feel My Face wasn't just writing about addiction, he was drowning in it. Over time, he began to turn his pain into creativity, channeling those experiences into darker, more personal music. The rumors about his habits, once dismissed as gossip, were actually the key to understanding his mysterious image. The Weeknd built an entire sound around truth and torment, turning his self-destruction into art. His story proved that sometimes the most haunting rumors are just an artist's real life playing out in their music. 6. Trey Songz. For years, Trey Songz was seen as the smooth, charming face of modern R&B. His music oozed confidence, romance, and swagger. But as his fame grew, so did the whispers, dark rumors of aggression, abuse, and sexual misconduct. Many dismissed them, thinking they were just tabloid gossip. But then, one by one, women began to step forward with shocking allegations that painted a disturbing picture. Lawsuits, police reports, and leaked messages revealed stories of intimidation and violence that couldn't be ignored. The singer, who once ruled the airwaves with Na Na and Say Ah, suddenly found himself fighting to defend his image. Each accusation added more weight to the growing belief that the rumors were true. Behind the confident smile and sultry lyrics was a man accused of crossing serious lines. Industry insiders began distancing themselves, and even loyal fans struggled to reconcile the artist they loved with the dark stories surrounding him. The charm that once made Trey a star turned into the very mask hiding his worst behavior. What once seemed like harmless gossip ended up being the truth that unraveled his career and reputation. 5. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was once one of R&B's most beloved voices, a true genius who gave the world the miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Her music was spiritual, raw, and full of emotion, but after her rise to fame, strange rumors began to surface about her withdrawing from the industry, avoiding the public, and feuding with record labels. People speculated about her mental health, her relationships, and even her connection to fame itself. Then the truth came out. Lauryn had failed to pay millions in taxes over several years. It wasn't just neglect, it was defiance. In her eyes, the music industry was corrupt, and she wanted no part in it. But the government didn't see it that way. She was eventually charged, convicted, and sentenced to prison for tax evasion. Fans were heartbroken to see such a powerful artist fall under the weight of her choices. The woman who once preached truth and empowerment had become trapped in her own rebellion. The rumors of her disappearance weren't exaggerated. They were the result of real battles with money, fame, and trust. Lauryn's story proved that even brilliance can't hide from reality when the truth comes calling. 4. Usher. Obrigado Usher was always seen as the smoothest man in R&B, a superstar who could sing, dance, and charm the crowd with effortless grace. His songs about love and desire made him a heartthrob across generations. But behind that clean, confident image, there were whispers that something ugly was hiding beneath the surface. Around the mid-2000s, rumors started to swirl online that Usher had infected multiple women with a serious sexually transmitted disease. At first, the claim seemed outrageous, just another attempt to tear down a successful artist. But then the documents started appearing, and the truth was impossible to deny. Court filings revealed that Usher had settled a lawsuit with a woman who claimed he exposed her to the virus. Soon after, more women came forward with similar stories, and each one added another layer to the growing scandal. The image of a flawless R&B icon crumbled overnight. Fans who once adored his romantic lyrics now looked at them through a completely different lens. The man who sang Confessions was suddenly living one in real life. The fallout was massive. His name became a trending topic for all the wrong reasons. Social media turned his private life into a public joke, and his career took a noticeable hit. Even though Usher kept performing and tried to move past the controversy, the damage was already done. The truth behind the whispers had come out, and it was far worse than anyone imagined. The rumor that once sounded disgusting turned out to be one of the most scandalous truths in R&B history, forever changing how fans saw one of the genre's biggest stars. 3. Chris Brown. When Chris Brown burst onto the scene, he was hailed as R&B's golden boy, a young artist with dance moves like Michael Jackson and a voice that could melt hearts. But in 2009, everything changed overnight when one of the most disturbing stories in music history broke. Reports surfaced that he had brutally assaulted his then-girlfriend, Rihanna, after a heated argument in his car. Fans were stunned. It couldn't be true, right? Chris was too talented, too clean-cut. But then the photos leaked, showing Rihanna's face bruised and swollen. The world froze. The rumors weren't rumors anymore. The police report confirmed the horrifying details, and suddenly, Chris's career imploded. He went from beloved pop star to public villain in a matter of hours. Sponsorships vanished, radio stations boycotted his music, and social media erupted in anger. His apology tour began, but the world wasn't ready to forgive. The scandal haunted him for years, overshadowing every song and performance that came afterward. Even when he tried to rebuild his image, his past always came back to remind people of what he had done. Behind the scenes, Chris struggled with anger, guilt, and the pressure of redemption. Yet despite the backlash, his talent kept him from disappearing completely. The incident became a turning point in how the music world viewed celebrity behavior. It was no longer just gossip, it was a dark truth about violence, fame, and consequence. The boy next door of R&B had turned into one of its most controversial figures, proving that sometimes the ugliest rumors are the ones that come with undeniable proof. 2. Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown's story is a perfect mix of talent, fame, and destruction. In the late 1980s, he was one of R&B's biggest stars. His music was electric, his performances unforgettable, and his charm unmatched. But behind the success, there was chaos brewing that fans couldn't see. Whispers about his wild behavior, drug use, and violent temper started spreading through the industry. At first, people assumed it was just the media exaggerating the antics of a rebellious artist. But slowly, the truth began to spill out, and it was far uglier than anyone imagined. Bobby's personal life became a storm of arrests, drug charges, and public scandals. His marriage to Whitney Houston, once seen as a fairy tale union between two stars, turned into one of the most toxic relationships in music history. The couple's private struggles with addiction, explosive fights, and heartbreak played out under the world's watchful eye. The rumors of substance abuse and domestic issues were no longer whispers. They were televised reality. What made it even more tragic was how his talent got buried under the controversy. Bobby Brown was a born performer with a voice that could command any stage, but his demons wouldn't let him stay there for long. The drugs, the ego, and the fame consumed him piece by piece until the king of stage became a symbol of downfall. Every rumor that once seemed exaggerated eventually proved true, painting a painful picture of a man destroyed by the very lifestyle he once ruled. 1. R. Kelly. For years, R. Kelly's name was synonymous with success, seduction, and soul. His songs dominated the charts, and his voice became the soundtrack to countless love stories. But behind that polished image lay one of the darkest secrets in the history of R&B. As early as the 1990s, whispers began to spread about his disturbing behavior with underage girls. Many dismissed the stories, thinking no one that famous could be capable of such things. But over time, the evidence piled up, and the rumors proved horrifyingly true. Court documents, leaked tapes, and emotional testimonies from survivors exposed a pattern of abuse that spanned decades. R. Kelly wasn't just an artist. He was a predator who used his fame and money to control and silence victims. The release of Surviving R. Kelly, a powerful documentary series, finally forced the world to confront the truth that had been ignored for too long. Fans who once celebrated his music were left speechless as every hidden detail came to light. His fall was catastrophic. Concerts were canceled, awards stripped, and his career destroyed beyond repair. The man who called himself the Pied Piper of R&B had used that title in the most chilling way imaginable. The rumors that once floated through the industry turned out to be the disturbing reality of a star who abused his power and shattered countless lives. In the end, R. Kelly's story became the most disgusting and unforgettable truth in R&B history, a reminder that fame can hide the darkest monsters. From secret addictions to criminal scandals, these stories remind us that fame doesn't erase flaws. It often hides them. What's shocking is how long these disgusting rumors stayed buried before the truth finally exploded for the world to see. But now the question is, how many more stars are still hiding secrets that could destroy everything they built? The music industry is full of smiles and success stories on the surface, but what's really happening behind closed doors might be even worse than we think. If you were stunned by the truths behind these R&B icons, you won't believe the dark secrets waiting in the next countdown. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and stay tuned, because the next story might just expose another legend's hidden truth.